here.
We are here.
We are the girls. Yes, we are. Okay, everybody, you know what day it is, all right? Wednesday, MMW Day with your girl Reg, and you know, like we say it on here, life is good, God is great, and situations are awesome. When we go through a situation and challenges in life, guess what? They make you unbeatable, unbreakable, and man, you are undefeatable. This is the African story, and I am so thrilled that you guys are joining me today. So wherever you're joining us from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good day. We are going to KISS. Keep it simple and stupid, and we will be out of here in time. But before we start, I would like to say a huge thank you to Mary, the girl who did my hair. SNA Salon here in Armadale. The girl is good. She made me look so beautiful that I am so feeling myself. Thank you so much, Mary. If you're looking for somebody to do your hair, just check out Mary's Salon SNA here in Armadale. She will sort you out, and it is the place you need to go for motivation. As you are doing your hair, the girl is motivating you from the conversation. So I was so blessed to be there. Mary, thank you so much for making me look
Okay,
beautiful.
Regina, can you introduce me
Here we are now.
I can't wait anymore.
With Fresh. You remember the girl? The girl who said, you know, I'm the big girl doing the, what was it? I'm the big girl doing the, scratch that out. I'm the big girl doing the big thing. Please, correct me if I'm wrong.
Girl, you need to prophesy some of these things
You
into your life.
I we have
You say it.
to be here with Precious. The girl always jiggled me up every time she did. So Precious, you're welcome. Thank you. What's been happening?
Oh, a lot.
A lot of what?
A lot of work, a lot of sleeping.
That's my life. Story of my
and
life.
catching up with friends and
people that refuse to let go. If we're talking about crazy friends, I put my hands up. I'm on top of her list.
She doesn't even deny it.
It's like a super, super power thing of being like the craziest friend, on the list. Anyways, Precious, you're here. Good to have you. You look beautiful. I love the hair, girl.
Thank you.
You are keeping it real, aren't you? So today, start talking about all things relationship. If you've been following MMW for the past few weeks, you will know that we've been talking about all things relationship.
Yeah.
And the aim of that entire program is to help people identify the things that are, pulling them apart or causing separation in the relationship or divorce in the relationship, and how you can manage the little things to salvage your relationship, right? So that's the whole goal and the aim of that program or this program. So today we are talking about why settle for less. This is a huge topic. Like, oh my goodness, I don't know if you heard
That's
me.
huge.
Right?
Girl, you should have prepared me for this.
You know everything. Like, the girl knows stuff. So she doesn't need any preparation. You just need to bang on her door like, Precious, guess what? We're talking about all things relationship. And she'll be good. So we are talking about why settle for less.
Why settle for less?
Man, why do we settle for less? Precious, girl, take me away. What do you think?
Why do we settle for less? Well, Regina, if I have to be real, I think one of the reasons that we settle for less is comparisons. That girl is married, I'm not married. I need to do something about it. There's something wrong with me. We were in the same class. 50 of the people I was in class with are married. I'm not. Oh man, there's something wrong with me. I need to do something about it. Oh, we're the four of us. They're my best friends. I'm the only one not married. They're asking me, where's your boo? I need to do something about it.
You need to get a boo.
I need to get a boo. So it's, especially for the ladies, Regina, comparisons, competition. I need to be like that girl. I need to, and it's like, especially when you're talking of relationship, it's like if you're not dating someone, there's something wrong with you. You are incomplete. there's some part of you that is not complete. Right. So there's that comparison and competition, especially among us ladies. We are always getting
we're always, trying to get ahead of another woman, isn't it? Yeah. And just like what you were saying about the whole comparison and competition kind of thing, it does make a lot of sense. Because everybody is getting married.
Everybody's getting married.
So I should get married. And if you've got that thought, like, everybody's doing it, and I should do it as well. It kind of, puts you in that place where whatever comes, you take.
You take it.
Because you're in a hurry. To wear the dress. It's not pretty much about the marriage itself. It's about the wedding. You want to be wedded. Just like everyone else has been. And it makes you just want to get that thing going. And you can't see what comes ahead of you. So that it does make a lot of sense, doesn't it?
You just want to settle with the next man that comes.
It's different for men, however, though. It doesn't matter who is getting married around them. Men are genuinely very slow creatures anyways. They will go to 40 before they realize that, I think I'm ready to get married. But the woman thing, you start thinking about marriage when you're 18.
18, Regina. We grow up with it.
Yeah. We grow up with it.
We grow up with it.
Thinking.
When we're young, when we're playing as girls, it's mommy, daddy, they get married, they have kids. So we grow up with that expectation from our childhood. So when you reach a certain stage and you see your friends are getting engaged, they're getting married, you're like, child, I'm late.
Especially like every time you go to a wedding, and you're sitting there, the only thing that comes to your mind like, wow, when am I going to start my own self? Like, I've attended. Let me just say something to you, okay? I remember a few years ago, like everybody wanted me to be the bridesmaid. Like, I remember I was a bridesmaid 3 years. And then the 4th year, my auntie was getting married and she goes like, Resh, and all and now. Like, no, I am not doing it. Like, I am tired of being a bridesmaid. Every time I'm standing behind you, like, I said, I'm not going to be a bridesmaid for anybody from here forward until I get married. Like, seriously. You just think by yourself, like, when can I get there? I want to get there. That's the only thought that comes to your mind as a single girl who is not married and you attend a wedding and you're just sitting there waiting like, oh God, when is it going to be my time? Kind of thing.
Yeah, also says something, Regina. Even our friends, Regina, let's be sensitive to what we tell the single ladies. I feel like we're the ones putting this unnecessary pressure on them.
What does that mean?
It means, imagine I'm married. I've been married maybe for some, it's not even up to 5 years. I'm asking my friend, you. Are you the only single? It's like you have won the award for most successful single girl. When are you getting hooked? When are you getting, such things tend to put pressure on the single lady. You feel like, there's something wrong with me. I need to be doing this now,
That takes us to the next point, which is waiting too long. Doesn't it? Because when, your girls, especially what you just said, let's say you have 4 girls who are married and you are the only
single one,
sister of them who's not married. I can testify. They'll go like, girl, when are you getting married? Like, have you found someone yet? Are you looking? Kind of thing. And I'm going like, leave me alone. Like, excuse me. Like, every time you catch up with your girls who are married, they're kind of watching you like, girl, so who are you dating this time? What's happening?
And sometimes, Regina, they'll not even talk about it. They'll just start giving you a distance. Some feel a bit insecure that because you're not married, you'll not be able to give them, I don't know if it's the advice
or marriage, or marriage life.
So it becomes some sort of, you're like, what happened? Since she got married, she just,
she just abandoned me. She left the tribe. She just abandoned the tribe. And you're right, because you can see that most time you're linking up with your girl, and all of a sudden they get married and they just throw you out as if things are never going to happen for you, as if you're kind of an infection that is going to infect the relationship or marriage. We've got to be very sensitive to these things, like you said earlier on. Because we're married doesn't mean that we should cut out our friends who are not. You know what I mean? It sent the wrong signal. That now I'm on another level. We're not on the same level. Until you get married, we can't be on the same level, because I believe that single people are dumb-headed. They don't have wisdom to give me, so I'd rather hang out with my married friends. And I also think that another thing, do you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Another thing I believe that causes people to settle for less is when you have been brought up in an environment or in a home where what you see constantly is abuse, is fight, is bitterness, unhappiness. Well, it goes both ways, okay? For some people, that kind of, strengthen you to say, you know what, I'm never going to put up with it.
Yeah.
It depends on your resilience and pretty much how much you've invested in yourself.
Yeah.
But with most people, because that's what they used to seeing, mommy never taught them, what to look for. All they see is bitterness. That kind of, influence the behavior to settle for less. You know what I mean? Because it should be the other way around. But for some people, it's the same, because I see my mom being unhappy all the time, or they're fighting all the time. So therefore, the same thing is going to happen to me. I am not worth, looking for something more. So whatever comes, I'm going to take it. As long it makes me happy. As long it gives me that satisfaction, I'm going to take it. So being brought up in a home where you are not taught, values of yourself and what to look for in the relationship, and this is for men and the woman. It makes you kind of just go out and just look for whatever you get because it makes you happy for that time. And so you just get that, and that lead us to the second point about role models.
Can I just add something as well? Maybe on that point, I would love to advise the parents out there. They say with kids, it's what they see, not necessarily what you tell them. So let us be cautious.
It prints a picture, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. Let us be, because it starts with you. Whatever you instill in your children when they are young, they will grow up with it. Most of the people that struggle with self-worth is because that the sense of worthiness was not instilled in them growing up.
So it gives them a low self-esteem.
So let's be cautious. Let's make sure our children are growing in an environment where they'll flourish, not where there's always, fighting and abuse. And let's protect our children's mental health as well. Let them grow up in a place where they'll feel safe, and a place where they'll feel unworthy.
So it does make sense, and that also leads us to the next point where we talk about role models. Parents should be role models for the kids. I mean, we're not saying that every relationship is perfect. That's not what we're saying. When it comes to relationship, it needs work. Okay, it needs work and understanding, and being a team player and collaboration and respect and commitment to that relationship so that it can survive and be sustained. So being a role model to your child, because like Precious said, they are seeing a picture, of what love is, of what a relationship is. So whatever picture you're seeing showing them, that's what they see. If they see a picture of mommy and dad always being happy, which is not possible, but most time it is happy, communicating in a proper way, respecting each other's needs, not always fighting in front of them. They when they grow up, they feel like, okay, you know what? This is what I saw my mother, being like. For me, for example, I remember growing up as a girl, and my mother and my dad will have a fight. But you know what she does? She will let us go out, and she will take dad in, and they will close the door. Okay? They will close the door, and I would not hear my mom's voice. But I would know that mom is angry because dad has done something. But I wouldn't hear her voice. So even if we go to open the door, once we open the door and go in, she will stop automatically. So since growing up as a girl, I can't remember when I saw my mother and my dad argue in front of me. So for me, I have a mental picture that when I'm growing up as a woman and have children of my own, that's not something I want to do in front of them as well. I will be careful of what to say, especially when I'm not happy with the father or when the father is not happy with the mom. You know what I mean? This role model also doesn't stop with parent. It also, go beyond parenthood. It go, like for me, I see a role model as someone who can hold me accountable. You know, someone who holds me accountable for my actions, someone who I can answer to when I've done something, and someone that I respect well enough, you know, to go to them for counsel.
Yeah.
And also someone that I feel like, okay, I've seen so much things in this person that I would want to be like or similar to them. You know, so those are the people I see as role model. So if you have a role model and you have a fear of them or respect of them, so it kind of puts you in a place that you know that when you messed up, somebody's gonna ask you a question and you have to talk.
You have to answer.
You know, so when you have that role model of, okay, this is what I want to be like, it kind of helps you to focus your attention like, okay, I'm not going to take any rewrite that comes because I want something like that. You know what I mean? So having a role model, especially as a man, is very important.
Very, very important.
You know, because the men are the foundation, right? You know, when a man makes a mistake of who to settle with, it affects his entire generation. You know, his parents are going to suffer. His entire family are going to suffer if he makes a wrong choice. So having a role model, I think we see a lot of you know, damaged men out there, you know, who are damaging women in return only because
they don't have
a role model to educate them that this is what you should do. This is the sort of woman you should look for. And these are the sort of things that you can identify in the woman that will make you not to settle for this.
Not just about the woman, Regina, even just themselves, you know. If you have a role model, they'll be able to tell, you know, as a man, this is how you're meant to behave. These are the things you're supposed to do.
Structure.
Yeah, structure you in a way that, you know, when you go out there, you're not just expecting a good girl, but you're also a good man.
A good man for that good girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think...
I believe a role model is very important.
Very important.
You know,
very important.
It's something that it makes a huge difference to a boy who hasn't grown up with a father.
Yeah.
Or to a girl who hasn't grown up with a mother. But I would like to emphasize more on men, you know, because a woman can be careless and get away with it some way, somehow. But with a man...
You are ahead of...
Yeah.
You are the head.
Yeah, with a man, you are marrying that person or you're in a relationship with that person. But let's forget the relationship part. Like Precious discussed right now, about your own personal self. When you have a role model, they kind of challenge you to be better. You know, they kind of, you know, question you, you know, give you the tools you need to invest in yourself. Because once you're well invested in yourself, you don't settle for less.
Yeah.
Because you have confidence in yourself, like, okay, this is me, this is what I carry, this is how much time I've invested in making sure that I am the man that a woman wants. So until I see that woman who wants me and this thing that I put in myself, I'm not going to settle for less.
Yeah. Oh, you just made me think of something else. That was. I feel like we need to take a breather.
We need to take a breather right here because this baby is going deep. You know, it's going deep. Ladies, you need to gather. Boys, you need to listen to this. Don't see it as a ladies talking or girls wanting to talk. This is a power conference right here.
You need to think about it. It's that thing where you have to sit down and like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to really think into this. Yeah, I wanted to say, I'm still not over the last point.
Okay, we'll take a breather.
Okay, I wanted to add more. It's like purpose, you know, lack of purpose. Yeah, both for the male and the female. Not knowing what is it exactly that I'm created for, you know. Eugenia, I feel like when you know what you're created for, you know why God created you, why God put you into the earth, you know exactly the people to allow in your space. Because if you don't know, anybody can come in and just mess you up. So lack of purpose, you know, purpose, not knowing exactly where am I going.
Yeah, direction.
What is it that God wants me to be doing? Oh, forgive me, I'm a God person. I can't help
it.
I
mean, like Jesus. Jesus is like what Jesus people.
It is what it is.
You can argue that. Right? We are super Jesus people. If you're not a Jesus person,
I don't know what you are.
being a Jesus person right now, because the guy is the man. He will sort you out. If you're broken, he'll sort you out.
He will sort you out, man.
You can't choose a better friend than being friend with Jesus, right? So you've got to be a Jesus person in this journey as well.
So I feel the purpose, sense of purpose, knowing where am I going, what am I supposed to be doing as of now, it will make you know the kind of person you want to have relationships with, because you know where you're going. You know, if this person comes into my life, they're gonna mess me up. They're gonna put a stop to my vision. They're gonna put a stop to where I'm going to. So having a sense of purpose
prevent you from
settling for less.
It's good that you mentioned purpose. It's really good that you mentioned that, because I mean, we are all human beings and we do make mistakes, right? But when you have purpose and you make a mistake, it wouldn't drown you.
It won't drown you.
You will quickly realize that, you know what? This doesn't align with my purpose. This doesn't align with where I'm going and where I want to be. So you will quickly put a stop to it before it becomes a toxic thing to you. So purpose is a direction to, like you said, the people you allow in your space. Because when I have a sense of purpose, I choose my people. Like I choose my army, the people to let in. And I mean that I'm not just going to allow any toxic person to come in and start making my life all toxic. No, you've got to go. So a sense of purpose, prevents you from settling for less. And this thing about people not rising up to the occasion, that's something.
That's something.
Some people don't want to be challenged. Like, let's say you meet a girl or you meet a guy, and you just know that they got it. Like they got it, but you feel threatened because you don't want to rise up to the occasion or rise up to be a better person for that person. So you try to mess things up, So and take a step back.
If I get you right, Regina, it's like when you meet this person, he's well put together, and everything is going on well for them. And are you talking of like they see you as a threat?
Well, for some people, they will see you like, okay, if I get into a relationship with this person, that means I have to do more.
Okay.
I have to do more because they require me to do more. Especially, let's say, for example, like you said, the person is well put together, and here I am still lagging behind, still trying to find my feet. What they're trying to do is, because we are partners, remember that, right?
Yeah.
They will want to pull me up to the level, right?
Yeah.
So for some people, they are so how do I say, lacking back. I don't know if that's the right word. That they're so comfortable with where they are. They don't want to come up to the ladder. So as that person tries to pull you up, you have to do some work to come up with them.
Right.
And because they don't want to do any work, they try to mess up the relationship and find something where they don't feel challenged to go up the ladder, where they don't have to do more work. So that level of being so comfortable in your zone and not wanting to do work to rise up to the occasion to be a better person for that person, it kind of makes you like, I'm not ready for this. They find somebody that you both are in the same comfort where you don't have to do work. What do you think?
That's a huge one.
Yeah.
That's a huge one.
Some people have walked away because they feel so challenged by a person. They go like, they're just too much. They're too smart. They've got too much morality thing going on there. Like the brother is like, or the sister is like, and you go like, okay, you know what? They feel incompetent.
Yeah.
And because of incompetency, they just do things to make the other person feel another way, because they lack confidence themselves, because they feel like, you are better than them. And because they lack confidence, they always find ways to sabotage that relationship.
Yeah. And make you even feel low about yourself.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And also, I would like to just drop this in there. You know, I'll just like drop this in there.
Drop it, girl.
I would drop it as like it's hot, right? I would drop this one like it's hot because this has gotten to me. Okay. Traditional norms. What society is telling you about.
Preach.
You know, the girl's gonna preach. I mean, the girl is a preacher. Like, I can feel like the spirit moving. You know, like traditional and social norms and what society is telling you of when you should settle.
Yeah.
At what age you should settle. Please, Precious, please tell me more about this. Like, I'm sure I'm not the only person who sometimes just lie down on my bed and I'm going like, no, you've got to stop thinking like that. Right?
So, Eugenia, with the society, there's this thing, it's like what we talked about with comparison and competition. Yeah, there's this thing of by 30, apparently by 30, in this society we live in, by 30, every woman has to be married.
Yeah. Not the men, like not the men, the women.
The women. Yeah. By 30, you need to be married. So by next year, Regina, or by the other year.
Sister, let's not talk about that because the struggle is real. Like I'll fire bombs. Like God is out with this prayer. I'm telling you, like I'm sure the elders of heaven. When I pray, they just go like, girl, you've got to stop right now because who heard that prayer repeatedly?
It's the social norm, you know, the society. They just have this thing of, you know, by 30 you need to get married. By this stage you need to do this. By this you need
to have a child at a certain age.
Yeah. So it just kind of puts you under pressure, Regina. You're just looking for a man.
You're looking.
Like you actually looking. Where is he? Like, even when the person.
I think that's him. Yeah, like that looks like him. He's the one I dreamt about last night. So like that's.
Even when he just says hi, you're like, what's your number? Where do you live?
Yeah,
I'm single.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, they've actually put us in a, you know, in a desperate position where you are tempted to settle for anything that comes your way. Because, you know, my mother wants me to be married by 30, you know. My parents say, if I'm not married by 30, you know, this is going to happen. If I'm not, you know, which is not really right. You know?
In this case, right, because I've got a lot to say about this thing line. The girl's got a lot to say. Like, first of all, what should we be telling women, especially? Because this doesn't affect men, okay? It only affects you when you are from a certain traditional or ethical background where, you know, yes, still the pressure is not on men as it is on women. Okay, so what should we be telling women who are hitting 30s and not married?
Girl, relax, establish yourself, you know. Get good relationships around you. He comes, you know, establish yourself. I remember you telling me this some years back when, not that I was desperate for a man.
The girl is so chill.
Just a disclaimer.
The girl is much chill than me.
I think that's why we're friends now, because I know you were so much invested in making me a better person by myself, you know, without having to look for a man somewhere to make me feel like, you know, I'm worthy of it. And I that's why we're friends now. Because the girl proved herself.
Wow, damn.
Because the girl proved
I
herself.
fought for her. Like, I fought the lions in the bear. Just like David did in the Bible, and I won.
Yeah, you
just so you know, I've got power.
So to establish yourself, you know, live a life that men are important, don't get me wrong, but live a life that even if he doesn't come, you are okay by yourself. You know, you are okay, you are content, you're all right. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with us. Please give us a break. We need to breathe.
I think this also goes for men. That if a man is out there, I want them to listen to this. Because a woman has reached her 30s, doesn't mean like she's got nothing to offer or there is something wrong with her. And because she's not married at the age of 30, Because I've heard a lot of men saying this, that when men are getting older, they downgrade. So as a woman, you have to be settled at least from 30. And if you are not, every guy who comes around you, they just come to mess around with you. And men have to understand that because you didn't get married at 30 doesn't mean that there were not opportunities for you to. Okay, there are women out there who are well invested in themselves, that they are waiting for a man to to complement those needs so that they can work together. Okay, so I think it's about time that men start to think much more logically about who they want to help their destinies. Okay, because once you think along that line as a man, that I want not just for the sexual bit of things, not just for the fun bit of things, but thinking like I need a woman who can complement me, who can take me to where I want to go in life, to where I want to be. If men start thinking like that, they will not need any point to downgrade and go for 20 years old. They will actually start looking at women who are in their 30s. Like, you know what? I am not looking for fun. I'm not looking for the whole sexual thing. I am looking for stability. I am looking for a woman that will make me a greater man, not a better man, a greater man. If men start thinking like that, they will stop putting a labor onto it, and they will start actually going after women who are in their 30s. But apart from that, girl, because you're 30 and you're not married, doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Just like the girl said right here, take time out.
Take yourself out.
Take time out. Love you at that time.
Very important.
Personal investment and personal development is much more important, because as you wait for him to show up, also love you being single.
That part.
Okay, love you being single. Invest in you being single. Just appreciate your time at that time, and don't think like, okay, I'm not married at this age, therefore I'm not gonna get married, and any guy that comes, no, girl, stop thinking like that. Things like there is something more that you can do for yourself. There is always, it's not about them, it's about you.
It's about you.
If that person come along the way, they are going to appreciate you, because you spend more time working on you and developing you and what they need.
And to be honest, Regina, let me give myself as an example. Let's not even go far.
We should not?
We should not.
Okay.
If I was...
We shouldn't go far.
Regina, if I was going to get married at 24, 25, I can assure you by now,
I might have a little something to say on that. I'm glad you brought that up.
I would have been divorced by now, living somewhere, in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Because you know why? By then, in my early 20s, I was still struggling with self-worth.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But before we get there, tell us a bit about self-worth.
Self-worth.
And how important, okay, sorry guys. Tell us about self-worth and how important it is in preventing people from settling for less. Because people need to know what that stuff is.
But
it's an ingredient.
It is. Because I remember sometimes, like I said in the video we did previously, I didn't know who I was as a person. So giving myself to anybody at that point would have been very risky.
Yeah.
I would have probably taken a lot of I don't know if I would have probably taken a lot of negativity from whoever would have chosen to be with me at that time. Yeah. Because you know what? I was there. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever you say, it's fine.
Right.
It's fine. I felt I needed to be someone else. I was not comfortable with,
being
being
you didn't know your value.
I didn't know me. Some things, someone will say something about me, I'll just say, but now, right now, if you tell me I'm ugly, be ready to fight. I'm serious. I'm not ugly. You won't give me that name.
You don't want to go down because I'm not going to talk for you. The person's going to walk all over you.
It's just the sense of, self-worth, I'm not where I want to be, but I am a work in progress.
We are a work in
We are
progress.
a work in progress, and I'm far better than I was. I can admit that. I'm far better than I was. It's just a good feeling to know people can't just walk over you like that.
Like you're a pushover kind of
push
thing.
over. And people mistake my quietness for a pushover. I'm looking at them like, maybe.
The first time, like the girl went off, and I'm going like, I'm like, this is like precious.
I have my limits.
Does she have that quality? I mean, I expect Regina to do that. No, precious. The first time this girl went off, I actually applauded her. I was clapping like, well done. I'm not a bad friend or anything. I was so proud of her because I never thought, just like what you were saying, I never thought she had it in. When it came out, I'm like, girl, yeah, step on it. Like, keep stepping.
It's called growing up. Growing up, Regina, growing up, knowing what you can take, what you can't take. And
I think it comes with self-worth.
Self-worth.
Valuing yourself. When you value yourself and the things that are, important that make you, you don't want to compromise those things by settling for something that doesn't make you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you value too much, like I'm not saying that you are taking the moral high ground. That's not what I'm saying. But self-worth comes with you valuing you.
Yeah.
The things that make you happy.
Investing
in. And then once you find when you have self-worth, you can quickly identify something that doesn't add worth to you. And that way, you wouldn't go for it, right?
Yeah, you would.
But if you don't have that whole self-value thing happening, whatever comes, it comes. You take. And you settle for whatever comes. So having that self-value, it helps you to not settle for less.
Yeah.
And like Precious said, like I wanted to get married at 22 years old.
Child.
I wanted to get married at 22 years old. I mean, the opportunities came, but then I'm like, if I had gotten married at 22 years old, I think we would have burned down the house. We would look for matches everywhere or lighter and just put the gas on that house and set it on fire because I was red. I was red and I wasn't going to take. No way. But as time went on, personal development, self-discovery, made me realize a lot of things about myself that I didn't know then. So, take time, out to know you. And discover yourself, because when you discover who you are and you get into a relationship, it prevents clashes. Because you know who you are.
And it develops boundaries. You know how far your partner can go and how far they can't go. There's just in the nose. There's places you can't reach, even as
I believe that another reason why people settle for less is because of children. When kids are involved in the relationship where you feel like, okay, this person is not the one, I believe that, they're not giving me what I want. And you have had kids from those people. It makes it harder for you to walk away. And you will see that many people are involved in relationships that they were not meant to be into. They have settled for that relationship only because of kids. What will you say to people who it's sensitive, it's a big one,
It is a big issue. It is a big one, and I'm happy you raised it, because a lot of people settle in abusive relationships, in toxic relationships, because they feel like they owe their children
to be in that relationship.
They
don't want to raise
a father and a mother.
Wow.
But if we have to be factual about it, Regina, it's better to raise a child single-handedly where they can see peace than in a place where they are constantly seeing chaos. So this thing of, no, I'm just staying because of the children, it has to stop. If you know you're in an abusive home, you're in a toxic relationship, move.
Let's forget about, we're talking about toxic and abusive, but what about a relationship that doesn't fulfill your needs, that you feel like, it's not adding on to you, that it involves a lot of insecurity, it's taking more from you, and it's not really complementing your cause and where you want to be in life, but you've had kids for those people.
But it doesn't matter whether you have a kid or not. At times it's good to put yourself first and look at the bigger picture. Okay, what would it benefit you to be with someone that is not taking you anywhere just because you have a child with them? That child is growing up. He's not going to be the same age forever. The child will be seeing what is going on in that house. Or you might stay there because of the kids, but you're going to damage those kids because you stayed. You're going to damage them because you stayed, because they're going to grow up with that negativity. They're going to, what you're exactly, what you're seeing that is what they'll look at as normal, fighting, bickering, emotionally abusing, that's what they'll think is normal. So for you to say, no, I'm staying because of the kids, you're actually damaging your kids. It's better off to move and raise the kids in an environment where they know, okay, daddy and mommy are apart, but they're okay apart than So it's
I mean, if you were involved in that situation now where you already have a child for that person or people, I mean, you just need to sit down, or children, you need to sit down and outweigh, the benefits over the consequences. What is it going to benefit you? What's the benefit for you to be in a relationship where, because obviously the kids are going to see it.
Yeah.
You can't hide it. The kids are going to see it, and they will not tell you, but it's going to develop over, time. And for those of you who don't have a child yet, or children yet, you need to really much evaluate that person that you're choosing to be with and make that decision before you have children for them. Am I settling for less? If your question is yes, do not have children for those people. Because if you do, it will lead to you having to raise those children by yourself without those people. So,
and also, Regina, it's not about you.
Yeah.
Look at the future. Look at the children you want to bring into that circle. Is this man truly a person you want?
For your woman. A woman.
Is this man the person you want your children to call father? Is this girl the person you want your children to call mother?
Mom,
Are you willing to raise those kids in a peaceful and safe environment together? Can you assure your future kids that they're going to grow up in a safe environment with that person? It bottom line, you're putting your children in danger by thinking and staying for them.
True.
That's what I think.
Well, so you just listen to that, and we're going to stop here. So we are going to continue this next week. So we have more things to talk about, but we will continue next week. So thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful time to have you here, and we look forward to finishing up this series next week, and outweigh the consequences and the benefits. Think about it and see where you are, because don't settle for less because of situation or because of circumstances.
And if you are less, upgrade.
If you are less, upgrade. Okay, we can't be saying we can't settle for less when we are less ourselves. So if you feel like, I'm less, you need to upgrade to get more. Thank you for joining us. We are excited that you did this, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a lovely week.